All right, just waiting for this to come online. I think we're there. Good. Hey, it's Coach Chris here. Good to be with you today. Yes, I am in my cupboard today. What a crazy place to be live with you. Tonight, we're trying a nighttime one. See if we're able to get a few people online with us as well. So it's Coach Chris here from Lighthouse Leadership, Psychology and Training. Great to be with you. Those of you who have been following know that we're in the middle. We're 3 days into our series. Our boundaries tip series, and tonight I've got for you tip number 3 in our series. So we've been following and tracking 3 boundaries questions. I reckon these are the 3 questions I get asked the most, or are the 3 questions I need to share with you the most with all of the people that I coach. The first question you may remember we spoke about on Wednesday, and this was, who is making your boundaries? And if it's not you, it's probably somebody else, and you might not like their answer. Question 2, most common question with boundaries is, when and where do I set a boundary? And I want to spend a bit more time speaking about that today. And then the third question is, can I maintain my boundary when I've set my boundary? So we've been speaking all this week. We're running these Facebook Lives in conjunction with a program that I'm running on the Sunshine Coast, a boundaries program that's going for 3 weeks. So for over 3 nights, over 3 Tuesdays. And so for the 2 weeks in between, I want to share boundary tips with you, because I didn't want you, if you couldn't get to our program, to miss out. And if you're at the program, then this is going to supplement the stuff that we're doing. It won't cover all of the stuff we do in the program, because you're coming to the program and you get the full program resources and the booklets and all of that additional stuff. But just, sometimes just a tip, like, how am I doing today? What can I work on today? And on Wednesday, we spoke about the sweet spot, how we actually get into the sweet spot of our boundaries so they're not too strong, they're not too soft. And on yesterday, we spoke about our time boundaries and the need to set really good time boundaries for our own mental wellness. Now, today, I want to speak about having different boundaries for different times, different places, and different people. And that's why I'm here in the cupboard, because depending what's happening to you and depending what's happening to me, it depends on what clothes I choose to wear. And so this is a great example. So like, if I'm going to go out and do some exercise, I love riding my bike, so I'll be out on my bike kit, so I'll choose those clothes. But if I'm going out riding, then I'm not going to choose this shirt. So I have to pick. I want to pick the right clothes. So my favorite polo shirt, scored this for $3. A polo, isn't that cool? So if I want to wear something a bit bright, have a bit of color appeal, like I love that green. It's a really nice green, so I'll choose that. If I want to look a little bit more dressed up, because that's the context, then I'll go to my favorite shirt, my pink shirt. Now, I've got a mate out there. Shout out to you, Dan, if you happen to be watching or you tune in later. He said to me once, you should never pick on a man in pink, because if a guy's wearing pink, he can handle himself. No one's picked on me yet, so I'm yet to find that out. But that's, depending on the context, I'll choose that. Now, if the weather gets rough and it's getting really cold and really windy, then I might have to go, I might need to go up to my down jacket. So if I'm going into my down jacket, then, the context is like, it's cold out there, it's windy, like I need some protection. And if it gets really bad, then, I might need to go into the slicker. I might need something that's going to give me some serious weather protection. And so in my wardrobe, like, I've got all of this variety that I could go to depending onto the context. And I wonder if that's what it's like for you with your boundaries. Do you have boundaries for specific contexts? Can you handle different situations with different people in different places, in different environments at different times? And I think this is such a great thing to be aware of when you're considering your boundaries. So now let's speak about a few situations and some times, places, and people where you need different boundaries. And this is lining us up for a model that I want to show you tomorrow. Now, those that are doing the course with me, we watched the model. We saw this model on night 1, and I want to put that online tomorrow. And this is a really good introduction to that. But let's look at this idea of having different boundaries for different times. So I got together with my family. It was, we have a lot of birthdays in June in my family. And so we caught up together in Brisbane. We all went out for lunch together. Everyone was very open, sharing their stories, sharing their life. Got to catch up with my cousin EJ. It was her birthday. My dad, we stopped and visited him. He's in care. So hello to those people coming online. And so we got to go and have birthday cake with Dad. And so in that context, the boundaries we had for that time, everyone's very open and very free. Everyone's sharing all of their stories. It was really good. What about different boundaries for different places? So I've worked a couple of different places. So when I was phys ed teaching, the boundaries that I set between me and the students that I was working with, I think I was pretty kind. I'm just a very kind person. But there are times I needed to be really firm. And so my boundaries had this range between, okay, what were the kids doing today? Did they need something really firm, or did they need something a little bit more open and free? And so I have to pick the context based on where the kids were at and that place. And the boundaries that I set when I'm at work with the kids was totally different to my time with my families. And what about with different people? And so you know that the people that you struggle with boundaries, you need different boundaries with those people to the people who are really honoring and respectful and are calling the best out of you. Yeah, so we need different boundaries for different contexts. So just like you have a wardrobe full of different clothes for different occasions, you need different boundaries for different people. Now tomorrow, I want to share with you some stuff, a model that will get you to really think about the different relationships that you have and the different resources that you're in charge of and how you allocate your resources to those people. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you tomorrow. This is Coach Chris from Lighthouse Leadership. I would love you to share, to comment on this video, and to pass it on to anyone who you think really needs to hear this tip. And again, hello to those people that are joining us live. Hello to those of you that are joining us later. Great to be sharing this series with you. And yeah, looking forward to being in touch with you tomorrow. So have a think about your boundaries, different boundaries, for different times, different places, and different people. This is Coach Chris signing off. Hope you guys all have a great weekend.